Thank you for visiting Past the Wire TV, the YouTube channel of PastTheWire.com.
Sure Bet Coffee. Put the giddy up in your cup.
And today we're going to talk about Jockey Silks, and we're here at Santa Anita Racetrack. And with me today is Simon Sandoval, the Silks man here at Santa Anita. Welcome to the show.
Hello, everyone.
And so what we want to do is talk about the Jockey Silks, and the owners can have any color silks they want. Is that correct?
That's correct. Everybody can design their own set of silks, any design, as long as it's approved by the Jockeys Club.
Gotcha. And then after they get those registered with the clerk of the course, then they bring them over to you. So I can see from behind you there that this room is just full of silks. So could you tell us how many silks you have actually in this room?
To be honest, not for sure, but roughly, I'll say about a little over 3,000 to 4,000.
Wow, 3,000 to 4,000 silks. So
probably
that's good. And then obviously you can see some older ones, and back in the day they were kind of made out of nylon, and now there's a lot of aerodynamic silks. Are those much more popular these days?
Correct. Aerodynamic. The jockeys prefer those because it's the word says it, aerodynamic. So it helps them cut a little bit of wind. That's what they say, and they feel more comfortable wearing those.
Gotcha. And so how does your typical day go with getting the silks ready for the jockeys and preparing for your day?
Well, the way it starts, I get on the phone, I call the racing office and ask for the scratches for today. And after I get the scratches, I go in the locker room and pick up the scratches and come back here, and then I start working on the next day.
So when you're working for the next day, you're pulling all the silks that are on the program for that day, and then you have them set out in the jockey's locker station. And then from there, if they scratch, then you go ahead and put them away.
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay. And then how do you file these? Like, what is the system that you have for organization for these silks? Because there are so many.
There was two guys prior to me. It was Jake and then Saul Marquez. And the way that I see this room when I first start working in here, they got it by alphabetical order. And there's a few trainers, they got a section, like Jeff Mullins, Patrick Gallagher, Rich Mandela, Neil Drysdale, and Peter Urton. The rest of them, they go by alphabetical order.
And that's alphabetical order of the owner's name or the stable name?
The stable, farm, company, or last name.
Gotcha.
Like you see, we got A's right here, A, B, C, D, and on and on.
And then what would you say, are there some silks that are just more popular and you're using them a lot? And then what do you do with the silks that maybe are a little dormant that you're not using?
Well, when I first started doing this job, it was just like challenge because as you see, there's too many. So the ones that I always use, I put them on the top hook. As you see, we got top and bottom. And obviously, these ones are the ones that I use the most. Then the ones that I used to have on the bottom. Like right here. This is leather L. And from here to here, that's all I've been using the last 6 months. Here to there, nothing. And on the bottom, it's always for the doubles, more than one. This guy's got more than one, so they go down below. Little red feather.
What stable would you say has the most set of silks?
Haranas.
Haranas Racing. Mm-hmm.
They got, well, more than 10, 20, I think, sometimes.
Wow. And then obviously sometimes they have to pull some silks and run out of town in another track.
Yes. They do that. They give me a call like 2-3 days with Linda Ramirez from the racing office, and kind of let her know what's going out of stock and what we got in the stock, just in case. If you have one, they know there's only one inside of town. Then we work on getting another set of silks, like house silks or trainer silks.
And sometimes they probably get a little torn or ripped just from wear and tear, and they probably need replaced. And what about, like, as far as washing the silks? Are you in charge of that, or somebody else?
No, I do the whole cycle. I put them on the locker's room, and after each race, I throw them in the washer, then on the dryer, then I'm hanging back on the right place.
Gotcha. So then they're ready to go for the next time around.
For the next time around.
Yeah.
Correct.
And so you wash them throughout. So after the first race runs, by the middle of the card, you'll have those washed and hung back up.
Every single race.
Wow.
Every single race. It's a lot easier for me. It keeps me busy. It keeps me occupied. And it's just a little less work. If I wait 2 or 3 races, it doesn't be a lot. And what am I going to do in the meantime?
And what's your system for, like, you said you get the program, and then do you mark them off as you go, or do you kind of clump them together if an owner has like 4 horses running that day?
Well, what I do, I just look at the program, and when I get approved, this is the final. Let's say, like right here, we got Joe Herrick on my proof. I just put an X right next to the number, and that's what I'm looking for.
And then you just kind of go on from there. So
right.
Just numerical order, write down the program, and pull what you need.
Actually, it's alphabetical order.
Oh, okay.
So let's say if I got A, B, or whatever, let's say I got Otherman, okay, and then I got Brown. I'm in this section, and it's not necessarily by number. It's just by alphabetical order, whatever it's easy for me to pick up where I'm going.
Gotcha. And what would you say is the most funniest or outrageous set of silks that you've seen?
Wow, that's a good question. Funniest one, well, they got one here to say the Mean Girls.
Mean Girls. That's pretty good. That's the stable name, the Mean Girls
that's
stable.
Right. So
that's good. That's good. So you got pink with the lipstick, and that's good. So Mean Girls is pretty popular. So somebody like got the stable name and everything.
We have a tour, and sometimes I just pull this out, and everybody gets a crack at it.
That's good.
Especially the ladies.
Oh, yeah, that's good. And I remember one time there actually was a pair of silks that had like a bikini. It looked like the jockey was wearing a bikini.
You're right. Those were, if I'm not mistaken, belong to Ben Bellboy's wife.
Gotcha.
Those are gone.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So that was funny. I saw the jockey. I remember Victor Espinoza walk out to the paddock, and he looked like he had a bikini top on. Yeah, the way it looks. So no, that's great. So anything else that is interesting and you'd like to tell the folks about the Jockey Silks and your job? I know you actually are the silks man for Del Mar, Los Alamitos, as well as here at Santa Anita. So how do you grab the silks you need and take them on to the next track?
Well, like I say, everything is, you got to have a system. So what I do, the 6 months that we're here at Santa Anita, everything I use, I put them on the top foot. And what I don't use, once again, it goes on the bottom. And the way the silks travel, I got this bag that they had for so many years.
Still in use, still going.
They all beat up, but it's still working. And then you can see these are H. So whatever it's under the H, I put them on the sack, and that's how they travel. And when I'm in the room, I just look for H, and I put them in the H. Like H is right here.
So when you go to Del Mar for the summer, you take all these bags and then you unload them in your.
And I just, even if I don't use this silk for 6 months, I'll take it with me just to be safe. Because Del Mar, everybody wants to run at Del Mar, and guess what? I don't want to make 2-3 hour trip, come back and get a set of silks. So these haven't been used in a while, but I know they will eventually use them. So I don't worry about the ones, like I said one more time, the ones on the bottom.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And these bags do look like they've been around a while, so they've seen some miles. So that's great. So then you have a truck or like a little U-Haul that you take these?
There's a guy that's been doing this for so many years, and he's the one. I don't take them on. way too many. Bags like this, I go between 30 to 35. So, I mean, you need a truck for them to travel.
For sure.
So he delivers in the room in Del Mar. And when I go there, I just go to the Jack's room, Silk's room, and start putting them away by alphabetical order, like around here.
And right now, Santa Anita is racing Friday through Sunday. So do you have to prepare, say, Thursday for Friday's races?
Wednesdays.
You start on Wednesday. Okay.
I start on Wednesdays and Thursdays. Just get Saturdays on the phone. Linda and I would coordinate that way. I can just stay home and can look at it on my phone. And
Linda's the clerk of the course here at Santa Anita.
Correct.
And so she's the one that actually types in what they look like, and what you see in the program as well as the form. You'll see the description of the silks. And, so could you show me, like, if somebody didn't have a set of silks, what kind of silks would you run in here at Santa Anita? Usually known as house silks.
It's a house silks. If they don't have it, we got two options. We can go to the house or the trainer silks, if the trainer has silks. Like
gotcha.
Metz.
So if you had, would you say that you have to use some house silks a few times a day?
Yes. See, these are the house silks.
Got the Santa Anita logo on there. Yeah.
And the trainer, Jeff, got his own silk in here.
All right, the JM silks are still alive and well, so that's good to know.
We use Jeff Metz.
All right.
Whenever
good deal.
They don't have a silks, that's our second option.
Good deal. So either the house silks or if the trainer has silks. So,
correct. That's
gotcha.
That's the way we do
and then some tracks they actually have where they might be able to. Some tracks actually have where the silks match the number on the saddle towel, and then I know tracks some that you can wear whatever color silks you want, but the helmet cover has to be a certain color because it matches the saddle cloth. And I know that helps the track announcer, but it's nice here. You can use the silks as well as the helmet cover. Correct. That's matching outfit. And if for some reason, like the trainer was out of town racing and they took the silks with them and they didn't bring them back in time, do you change anything in the program, or does the track announcer just kind of figure it out on his own?
No, what we do, Linda and I, we coordinate. I look at the proof, let's say Wednesday for Friday, and I say, Linda, the silks are not here. Let me make a phone call to the trainer. The trainer take the silks, let's say Killen. They're not back. What are we doing? Then we call the trainer, let him know a couple days ahead. Then he can make the decision. That way, everybody knows when it goes on the final, nobody gets, mistaken or confused.
Is that similar, like when you have partnerships and maybe 3 owners and horses, like one time they'll run in one partner silks and then another time another partner silks? That must be challenging to keep up with.
Well, the way it works, we rotate them. So there's 3 partnerships. We use the first, second, and third, and we keep rotating them.
So you have to have a pretty good memory, or like you said, an organized system to mark down, okay, so-and-so got to use their silks, so now it's partner B gets to use their silks, and then so on. So,
but that's, like I say, it's in the racing office. Racing office is in charge of all that because I have no control. I just work with them. And whenever I see there's a mistake, or let's say a horse got claimed and it was trained by Steve Knapp, and that horse is running for a different trainer, but he appears on Steve Knapp silks, so there's a mistake right there. We need to correct that and make sure the system is, it's right.
I know Linda's always looking at the proof, making sure the silks are correct, and then, like you said, trying to catch those changes before the program goes final, because the program, as well as the racing form, has the silks colors and description in there. And a lot of times, if it says yellow with green ball on the back, and you're betting on the number 2 and it doesn't have those silks, you're like, hey, how am I going to find my horse in the race? So as a bettor, you have to remember, oh, that horse actually has the reverse. He's got green silks on. So you want to, keep track of your horse out there in the race. And so there's quite a system to it, from the entries to the clerk of the course to the silks here. And then you have the valets that, give their jockeys their silks as they get ready for the race. And the jockeys, have the jockeys ever been off a race where they're accidentally wearing race number 3 silks when they should have race number 2 silks on?
It happens, but that's why when I go there, I put them 5 race. You start on let's say the last race. Oh, you work your way up to the first race. So automatically they just go like, okay, this is my first race. And if I ride that into the 5th, of course, the second race, they're going to ride right behind the other one. And there's been times when the horses got scratched, they notice, they get dressed out, they go out there like, oh, my horse got scratched. So things like that happen.
Gotcha.
That's like out of my hands. And sometimes part of me making a mistake by not pulling that on time. And the valet don't even notice. And the jockey don't even notice. So it's miscommunication.
Yeah, it happens. I remember one time out in the paddock, and the saddles got switched. So the 2 jockeys were in the saddles and they were in the walking ring, and they're like, hey, this feels weird. And then they realized, hey, I got the wrong saddle. So they had to bring them back underneath, switch the saddles, and then get them back out on the track. So like you said, you go in order. Everybody tries to do their best they can. And, you want to get, because to the owners, it's very important to have the silks on the horse. It's something that they've designed. A lot of times, either their name or their colors, they really take a lot of pride in it. So silks are very important to the owners. They're what make horse racing as colorful as it is, the sport that we all love. And so it's nice to get a behind the scenes look at these silks. And, I really appreciate your time today. So thank you very much.
It's a pleasure.
Nobody does it better.